So we've made the purchase. What are you doing? Okay, so just stopped into Go Outdoors, check out some tents. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So for this one, during the edit, the audio was absolutely terrible and there was quite a loud music on in the background. So I'm going to have to do a voiceover for this one, so I do apologise. So I'm going to try and talk through my thought process. So looking through the tents at Go Outdoors was actually a bit of an eye-opener for me in terms of the sizing, and it definitely, in my opinion, makes more sense to go out there and start trying some stuff and seeing what it is you actually will like, because it's one thing looking at people's reviews on YouTube, but I found going there and just speaking to, I do want to say experts, they were really helpful actually within the store, just with everything that I needed, and some quite, I want to say stupid questions, but yeah, they didn't make me feel that way and actually spent time talking to me through everything. So thought process through this was I looked through the tents along the store or throughout the store, and I decided to, I guess, get a budget of under £300 for the tent, mattress, everything. The first one I found was this one. This is pretty spacious actually, and this is how big it rolls up. So that'll go on the back of the bike. It's quite heavy though. And I can sit up in it, which I'm not sure you can do in some of the other ones that I've seen. But this actually is a contender. I like this. So this is the view from the inside. It's actually not that bad. Because the issue that I've got at the minute is I've only got one pannier, and that's where the trip machine rambler bag's going to go. So I just don't want loads of things on there without any weight supporting either side. So I figured if I can lay all this out, and you can correct me if I'm wrong with this one, if I can lay everything out and roll it up like a Wingman, I can strap it on, but it'd be a lot lighter. And that means I can invest more in sleeping bags and mattresses and test everything out rather than just getting all in one. But I just don't know whether Wingman is the right choice. So there's the tent, there's the bag. I quite like that actually as a setup, but I quite like this. So size wise, they're about the same. Let's test this one out. How long does this take to put up? Okay, so lie down test. For the other one, more expensive one, slightly bigger, more room. There's only going to be in here, but I think this actually is the one I want because there's a bit more room to sit in, and I like this dry space there. I really do like that. I think this is a lot more versatile. I like that tarp bit, and there's room, and I can sit up, and I probably could get changed in here in a pinch if I needed to. And I quite like it's got this blackout sheeting as well. Alright, so this is the one I think I'm going to get. And back to the voiceover, the music on this bit is just ridiculously loud and I can't get this one being copyrighted. So I started to go look for some chairs and just going to look at some of the sizes in there, because I'm figuring if I'm getting the mattress and the sleeping bag and the tent and getting a big enough bag, then I should be able to fit everything in there as well as a chair. So this is me just checking out some mattresses and seeing whether or not I think they would actually roll up and fit inside the bag. £24 for this, although it does look like it packs quite big, quite bulky, but I didn't realise there was this much stuff. So after all that, I decided to take a bit of a break, and if you are up that way, check out the Wurks. I'll put a little sticker around there for you to find, and if you do find that, tag me and the Wurks in that. So if you're in York, over near Vanguard, this will be around somewhere near Go Outdoors. Go find it. So it was an interesting probably hour and a half in Go Outdoors. There are other camping shops available, but I went to Go Outdoors to just get a feel for different tents and sleeping bags and all that kind of stuff, because I feel like everyone uses Wingman, and they're clearly good at what they do and geared towards motorcyclists, and pack on the bike and would absolutely just make the Bonneville that classic Bonneville look. But I figured, what else is out there? When I've looked on YouTube, there's not that many comparisons, so it either means there's no market competitors for them whatsoever. There's a few in America and Australia, but from what I've seen, if you're going to camp in the UK, then Wingman is the way to go, and then travel over to Europe and stuff. But I'm just figuring, for the price point and from the reviews that I've read, what else is there? And there isn't much, if I'm entirely honest. People say about their Wingman's great, but the bulk of it is, one, it's heavy, and two, it's quite a hefty piece of kit, especially if you go for the Toucan, I think it's called, which is the two-man tent, not the Goose, which is a single. And yeah, if you're looking for high quality poles, so there's things about camping which I didn't realise, which is things like your fiberglass tent poles aren't as good as having the steel tent poles, so you're paying that for an upgrade. You then pay for your waterproofs as well, and then also things like the ease of setting it up and down. I asked the question, say if I laid everything out, could I roll this up and then put it into like a dry bag? The answer is potentially yes, but if the waterproof is not great, or some water's got in, I guess you can get this with a Wingman as well. But if it's wet, then everything's wet. So why would you want that? Why not keep everything separate? And I guess there's pros and cons to both. I have never done this before, so it will be a learning experience. And I'll be really pleased to hear in the comments before I make any of these purchases, bearing in mind the lakes is in the next 2 or 3 weeks. What's your experiences? What do you find works best for those more seasoned campers that are out there? I'm really interested to know. So didn't make any purchases today, although I came really, really close when I saw that tent I was in previously, and got all the gear out, said it'd all fit. I could rock strap that up or strap it up with whatever else, throw it onto a duffel bag, it all fit in there, and that'd just sit nicely on the back of the Bonneville. At the minute, I'm still torn. Do I invest in the Wingman, because that's what everyone's got, and it clearly works, they do a good job, and aesthetically it's what I'm after, or throw everything into a duffel bag, and actually I can take more things with me for around about the same price. So I'm a little bit stuck. Cheeky someone checking the bike out. What are you doing? So for my camping setup, this is a 40 litre bag. That'd fit on the back of the bike. I just don't know whether it'd be long enough lengthwise. Or I get a 50, so you get high vis for motorways and travelling. It's a lot more expensive for 10 more litres, but I feel like that's going to be big enough. And it's got straps on the side to tie it to the bike. I have stuff for the straps. It's not a bad way forward. But again, the prices add up to Wingman prices. Well, there's these Q bags. It's $12.99. There's nowhere to strap that from what I can see, whereas this one has straps on. And what is that? 50 litre. So I feel like that would fit the tent gear in, and then other stuff as well if I need to. So this is the bag side by side. So 40 is this one, that's the 50, and it's got straps on. Actually, I wonder if you could just tie them into the rock straps or not. Let's see, 40, 50. It's got a really good selection of jeans here actually. I think what I'm really looking for is some stuff like this that I can wear to work. So we've made the purchase. The reason for the bag purchase is because I'm undecided whether to get a Wingman, which is obviously heavy and bulky, all-in-one camping system, or spend the equivalent amount, maybe a little bit cheaper, and get everything to go into that bag, which I've just bought. So I'm going to go home, think about it, and actually just see how that bag straps to the bike, because if it works and I'm happy with it, I'm going to keep that over the Wingman. And actually what that does mean is I can keep everything separate and pack more things in the bag should I need to, and if I ever didn't want to take my trip machine bag. So I want to get home, see what this looks like. Okay, so this is the bag on the back of the bike. So actually the overhang doesn't look that bad, and you can still see, I know my lights are really small, but the indicators, see that's blocking it, but you can see the indicators if it's on there, so I don't think that looks too bad. It just depends whether all the tent stuff will fit in. So on that note, I'm going to leave the video here. We'll see you all in the next one. Thanks everyone for all your support. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.